I don't think John Cena's won a singles match in maybe 5 years. That sounds crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I don't think he has. And obviously, they're bringing him back into the fray and using him sparingly. So it's like, why are you going to stick with this philosophy of hustle, loyalty, and respect, and it doesn't pay off? Well, this is something that no one expected to get at Money in the Bank last night. Trish Stratus, who was hosting Money in the Bank, which, quickly, let's just speak on this whole hosting situation. Like, hosting means absolutely nothing. Nothing. It's just a spot for these people to be on the card. How many times did Trish Stratus pop up on TV while she was hosting Money in the Bank? Twice, maybe, max. This being one of them. This being, I guess, the biggest spot for her on the night. Introducing John Cena. And everyone's like, oh, okay, John Cena is here in Toronto for Money in the Bank. And John Cena comes out, and the first big gasp, I guess, you as a fan maybe made internally, is when he had his little towel and he flicks out his towel before he throws it into the crowd and runs down into the ring. And I'm sure it said something like last time or something like that, beginning to allude to, okay, what's this all about? As he ran down into the ring, again, the back of his t-shirt alluded to him leaving a retirement, something along those lines. And as he took to the mic, gave a bit of a rah-rah speech, as John Cena does, you know, saying how amazing the fans and the crowd is and this, that, and the other. You could see where he was beginning to go with this. And where he went with this was announcing that this next year, 12 months, will be his last. That he is retiring as a WWE wrestler. Now, he mentioned Royal Rumble next year, 2025, that will be his last Royal Rumble. He mentioned WrestleMania, saying that next year will be his last WrestleMania. And I guess made it sound like that's where the end was. Since then, he went into the press conference. He had an extended Q&A session with the press following Money in the Bank. And he said that, yeah, he's going to wrestle throughout 2025. So Royal Rumble and Mania will just be his last Royal Rumble and Mania, but it sounds like he's still gonna, you know, be wrestling after that. I think it's rumored, or, you know, people are reporting that he has about 30 to 40 dates before it's all said and done, which is, you know, given that there's 52 weeks a year, 30 to 42 that John Cena's gonna be on TV, pretty impressive. Can't lie, it's pretty impressive. He did say he's still got other commitments, you know, I'm sure that's around Hollywood and all the stuff he's acting in and stuff like that. But yeah, the John Cena WWE run is coming to an end. And listen, I'm not the biggest John Cena person, especially hustle, loyalty, respect John Cena. I was a massive fan of Thugonomics John Cena growing up as a kid. Loved that. When he kind of morphed into the corporate John Cena, selling merch John Cena for the kids John Cena, I lost massive interest. I gained interest again 2015, the US title run, the open challenges, loved that. But yeah, this was a moment that made me feel like, all of our legends are really getting old. They're really about to hang it up. They're done. They're one by one. They're just becoming, you know, they're stepping aside and leaving the WWE in the hands of today's ladies and gentlemen and today's superstars. So with that, it was kind of a sad kind of, John Cena stepping away, like he's nearly done. But with that comes, you know, what is the next year gonna look like? I can only imagine what WWE are paying him for this next year. I think he did mention as well he wanted to be around for WWE going on to Netflix, and that's all part of this for sure. Like John Cena on Netflix, you know, more or less weekly, I think would be massive for the first year of this Netflix deal especially. So it all kind of works in cahoots. But like I said, the fun now comes in booking John Cena's final year in the WWE, especially the fact that it has been announced as the final year. We know this is the retirement tour now. Like there will probably be a level of house show pageantry after every event he's on, going out, thanking fans and all of that kind of stuff. So this is where the fun comes in now. A lot of people have started with, is he going to break the record? The world championship record. He's currently on 16 world championships. Will he get number 17? I think it's quite possible, and that might make people annoyed, but we have to look at it as in Ric Flair doesn't work for WWE right now. He's not contracted to WWE right now. So, and where they have been actively updating their records, Gunther with the IC title, Roman, okay, he didn't, break the amount of days, but, they walk around and say he's the modern longest ever in the modern era and all of that kind of stuff. The women's records are practically being updated every single time. They may want to update this and have someone that, is actually under them, a John Cena, because obviously Ric Flair, I don't actually think he's with AEW. He never had an AEW contract as the story goes, but obviously he was last kind of seen on AEW TV and stuff, and the indie stuff with the Ric Flair last show and all of that kind of stuff. Like, I think it makes sense for WWE to want to have a John Cena with the record under their, someone under their contract. He will retire, but obviously be given some type of 10-20-year Legends contract for WWE. He did say in the press conference that he is going to stay a member of the WWE family, whatever that means. But yeah, I think it's quite possible he wins the 17th world title. And hey, it doesn't mean that he has to go on and beat Cody Rhodes. He could win the other one. He could win the world heavyweight title. Could be a Gunther he beats, could be someone else he beats. I don't know, but it's very possible that 17th world title comes. But let's do it without a Royal Rumble win. Like, I don't think that would go down well, or a Money in the Bank win either. Like, I feel the most important thing that needs to happen now is we really get, I don't want to go as far as, and it's too easy to say, a heel John Cena. I would love that, but John Cena is John Cena because of who he's become, and that's the guy that they want to kind of introduce the Netflix side of things to the public and all of that. Like, we can't deviate too far from the character right now, I don't think, in the last year, although I would love it. This isn't McMahon booking John Cena anymore and just seeing him as the cash cow. We've got Triple H, we've got The Rock, in fact. Like, we've got people that can really book some stuff. Like, we saw them do it earlier this year around Cody's title. I'm all for a heel Cena, but I think more importantly, I'm here for just some really good character work from Cena. His last few appearances have been really cartoonish in terms of what he does with other talents. I don't really think he's helping them, just kind of mocking it, and it's almost like he's just there to take a paycheck. I really do think that Cena now can really sink his teeth in for the next year, and plan some great stuff. And it could be a struggle towards a title he never wins, and that's what thinks, yeah, I'm just going to retire now. It could be something like even getting rid of the hustle, loyalty, respect stuff, because let's be honest, it hasn't worked for him. I don't think John Cena's won a singles match in maybe 5 years. That sounds crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I don't think he has. And obviously they're bringing him back into the fray and using him sparingly. So it's like, why are you going to stick with this philosophy of hustle, loyalty and respect and it doesn't pay off? I would definitely want to see some change in character, which kind of determines, right, this is a new John Cena. Give him some wins straight out the bat before you start putting him into any kind of serious feuds and stories, because he just needs to rebuild himself in that aspect. Like, John Cena retiring is very, very interesting just because of what they're gonna do now, knowing that we've got the end date, there. As Triple H said in that WrestleMania thing they put out on YouTube, it's easy to book when you have the end destination in mind and then you just work backwards. So they have the end destination in mind, they know it. I want to see some great stuff. I want to see John Cena go out almost at the top of his game, almost like John Cena don't retire. I think that's where we need to get to by this time next year, or whenever he's actually going to call it quits. The news that rocked, I guess, wrestling somewhat, because John Cena is an absolute legend. John Cena is set to retire by 2025. Let's see this final run, eh?